The Culture Currency show is for those who recognize that nuance is key. We don't pretend to have all the answers, but we tackle the issues that affect the majority when speaking of Black America. Our discussions are informed by the host's personal experiences and insights, and we're always open to evolving our perspective as we gain new understanding.
This is the story of two friends from the Bronx who decided to get real, be direct, and impact Black culture. Welcome to Culture Currency, where culture is the value.
Right? Peace. How you doing today?
I'm good. And you?
I'm great. Can't complain.
Actually, I'm doing better. I got energy.
You gave me a little energy too.
So we wanted to jump off with talking about life and how our life really isn't ours, and the importance of vulnerability.
I'm Mahagony.
I'm Aisha.
And this is Culture Currency.
Where culture
is the value.
That's right. You want to kick that off?
When you make a statement so heavy as your life isn't yours,
right,
people's face get all scrunched up.
Right.
We speak all the time about, mentoring people and different things like that. And at this level of life, you start to see things a lot different than you did when you were younger. And so I remember being younger like, yo, it's my life to live, right?
Yep.
Today, I understand that very differently. So I urge people who are dealing with, real life experiences and really trying to get in tune to identify that our lives, it's not ours to keep.
Right.
Right? So that's pretty much where I wanted to start the conversation.
Yeah. So basically, our stories, our life experiences are our stories, and they are stories to be told, right? And then we have these experiences so we can share them with other people and so they can learn from them. So one thing you brought up when we were talking about earlier is vulnerability being strength. You know what I mean? Because it is. Like, one thing that came in my mind was me coming out as a kid and feeling like, well, if I have my strength here, it can't be a rumor. At that time, what was it? The 90s. So it's not something that was, cool at the time. But if I'm walking in my own shoe for my own strength, what can anybody else say about me?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it becomes your armor.
Becomes your armor. So we are living in a time where insecurity is at an all-time high.
Yeah, man.
And just devious activity is at an all-time high. So a lot of people are, a lot more guarded. The reason I say that vulnerability is a power is because you can't hurt me with something that I already have become okay with.
Exactly.
Right. So once I do the work and identify who I am and I'm okay with who I am, and I share it, how you gonna blow up something I already blew up?
Exactly. And how you gonna check me wrong on when I did my job? My job was to live this and then teach. That's what I did.
Absolutely. Right? Absolutely.
What about when we're going through things and we then have what you called impaired spirits or wounded spirits, right? And then the story that we once knew or the person that we once knew is a whole different person because things are happening, whether it be mental illness, whether it be sickness and stuff like that. How do you tell that story? Because sometimes you don't triumph. Sometimes you don't make it through, and you're sitting in that.
So we started off talking about our vulnerabilities and how to pretty much get ahead of it being a weakness and making it a strength, right? And then you're speaking of how to utilize a story that hasn't completely been healed through vulnerability.
Perfect.
I don't believe that you can.
Right.
You have to do the healing before you can be vulnerable with it, because then it's still painful to the touch.
Right. And you don't know what to say because you're still in it. You didn't get the lesson yet.
And the whole point of the share is the lesson.
Right. And that's where you come with your wisdom. Right.
That's where your life isn't yours comes from.
That's right.
Right? Life is a bunch of trial and error. As we try things, if we fail, We get more information to know how to do it better the next time, right? And that's where wisdom comes from.
Right.
The more information that you're taking from your failures and making adjustments, the better you're at it the next go round. People need to not only see that, they need that information.
Right.
Everyone shouldn't have to have firsthand experience to what you went through. Experience
Like
has many
dragging them
different
through the whole.
forms, right? So experience, I can see someone go through something, that's an experience.
Right, absolutely.
Right? I can go through it, that's firsthand experience. But I can hear about someone going through something and get some experience.
Yep.
So there's different ways to get experience, and firsthand experience isn't necessary for everyone,
Right.
for every situation.
Right, it's vicariously, and
And
that's
so when we are sharing our worlds with others, we are giving them the ability to learn from us. We're also giving ourselves the gift of service, right? Which is one of our purposes being here.
fine. So now, let me put this in further context on basically how this conversation came up. When we pass, how our stories are told is always the good parts of the story, right? Just the highlights. I was talking to one of my oldest brothers, and he was talking about someone that had passed away, one of his friends, and shared that he feels like his friend's life should have been used for an example for others. You know what I mean? Where, so if someone had a drug problem, a drinking problem, or mental illness, instead of just celebrating the life, let's discuss what that person went through as a lesson for other people.
I believe that that's a great idea. I don't think you take the celebration away.
I
think
agree.
you give
That's
the
exactly
entirety.
what I said.
Yeah, I think you
Yep.
give the entirety of a story.
Yep.
I think that's what's missing in today, period, is the fact that everyone wants to pick and choose what parts are being shown, and it's really taken away from the genuine effects of what this life is.
Right.
It's a matter of how it's done as well.
Right, exactly.
It's
I was just thinking about discernment.
Yeah.
One of my cousins just passed away, and I feel like somebody wasn't using discernment, and I had to talk to her about that, about bringing up some stuff at the wrong time. It's not the time for that.
I felt that.
Yeah, this is not the time for that. You know what I mean? So even if you may want to talk about these things, you don't do it right now. There's a time and place.
Time and place.
You know what I'm saying? And then some stuff is just family talk, where the family reflects and does these things, and other things can be for the community. You know what I mean? So even in keeping it real about, you know, who a person was, or things that private things they may have shared, there's still discernment that must be used in sharing that information. However, I feel like key information should be shared, so that we can learn from our people's stories, that the parts of the stories that they weren't able to tell us.
Yeah, it gives you a different understanding of the people that you've engaged with through life as well. Like you get to know them at a different level.
Yes.
Right? So I have conversations with my granddaughter, Sadie, all the time. And the other day, we actually had a discussion. She got in trouble, a school situation. And when I called her to talk to her about my disappointment, I had to ask her, am I getting to know the real you, or are you giving me a version of you that you think that I desire? Because I desire a genuine connection.
Right.
And in order for us to have a genuine connection, I
Wow.
need to know you.
Wow.
Right? So I say all that just to say it's very comfortable to engage with people and only deal with certain parts of them.
Yep.
That's the comfort of it. I like to deal with the entirety of a person because I want a person to deal with the entirety of me. And the only way that I can be better is by showing them the things that are not so shiny, because that's the only way that gives a person the ability to say, hey, that ain't okay.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So I'm around people all the time. I don't think that there's many people who are around me constantly who truly know me.
Oh, because I was about to ask you, do you feel that everybody's supposed to know you?
I'm saying close relationships don't know me. And I could tell that by certain responses, like certain conversations. There's certain questions, right? Certain people will ask you a question that you'll be like,
What?
that doesn't even go with my character,
Exactly.
so how
Right.
would you ask me that?
Absolutely.
I don't think that it's intentional.
Right.
I think that
They
they
just
just don't
know.
They don't
Yeah.
see that part of me.
Right. Yep. One of the purposes of us having this conversation is to discuss who knows our story and who will be the ones to pass on our legacy, to pass on our stories. Who do we give permission to do that for us as a service to our families and communities?
When you just said that, it just made me think of the necessity to be genuine about our experiences with a person in the now before they're gone, right? Sometimes people are gone before they are physically gone, right? Sometimes they're spiritually gone.
Damn.
I have a family member who had a very rough childhood, which led to drugs, right? And those drugs led to mental health. And there's levels to mental health issues. But at the highest level, there are very different aspects of a person's behavior, of a person showing up that you have to be real with.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about being able to identify, what should be spoken of and what should be shared, before you can speak on anything and share anything, you got to be real with what is. And so I have a family member who is gone mentally.
Right.
And with that, I had to have my own version of a mental funeral. There's a separation that has to take place. Not because I hate him, not because I'm mean, not because he is no longer a family member, but because he is no longer the person that I've grown to know.
Right.
That person is gone.
Right.
And in order for me to me be mentally okay, me to be physically okay, for me to make conscious decisions, I need to see things for what they are,
Right.
and handle them accordingly.
Yep.
This is not as easy for some other people in my family.
Right.
And we had that discussion. So I wanted to, make that a part of the conversation.
I appreciate that. I think so many of us can relate to that. I have like some family members and some folks who are like family, where that's the case as well, where the person that we once knew, that is no longer that person. You see the face, but they're completely different people right now. And it's important that we understand that and accept that. I think that, while we are in good mental health, or when we do have the opportunity, we should think about what is the legacy that we're leaving behind. What are the stories we would like to be told about us? Because we hear that they gone today. You know what I'm saying? So really, what is your legacy? What is it that you're leaving behind, and not just the cute stuff?
You know what's crazy? On a lighter note,
This ain't light, man. As dark as these outfits.
on a lighter note, Jesse, my dojo brother, me and him was just having a conversation at an event, and I was telling him, since he is the person who started point fighting footwork, I was like, yo, this has to be documented. This is your legacy.
Right.
I do not believe in other people telling my story.
Right.
Tell your story while you can.
Tell
He's
it
sitting
right
there,
now.
he's like, yo.
Damn, that's fire.
He's like, you putting the fire up underneath
on the video.
me. And I'm like, yo, that's the point.
Right.
Like we need to, I said, start documenting, getting stuff, putting it together so we could compare and contrast what it was prior to you, show you in the transition, bang, bang. People need to know that, because the whole circuit is utilizing something that you
created,
invented,
and I did not know
no
that.
one knows that.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. But that's why y'all so nasty with it, though. You know what I'm saying? You with the originator over there. You know what I'm saying? Really tell your story, because things can be missed. And the great part about it is, when you're not here anymore, we have this archive.
It's legacy.
Right.
It's so many different reasons, right? Me and my sisters were talking about interviewing my mother and my aunt, asking them stuff that we don't know about them.
Right.
Right? When they're gone, these are things that I want to know.
Right.
I want to know you.
Right, exactly.
Like in completion. I talk to them about that all the time.
Right.
Because I've already done my stuff and gotten to the place where I don't have any shame. Everything I've been through, I understand why, and I'm cool with it. So we constantly have these discussions, and my mother and sister is always talking about it's good that you got there. And I'm like, yeah, but it don't have to be just me.
Right.
Like, we all should get there because
Right.
it's a level of freedom that comes with it that I
Yeah.
would love to see everybody have.
Absolutely, and also this is a conversation that I've had with my dad, and like, you know, Dad, I want to get you on camera telling your story. He started writing a book. Hopefully he'll actually finish it, but finish it, Dad.
He'll finish it.
But we also want to just record him telling the certain things, as well as my aunt, who's one of the oldest relatives in the family, to date.
It's a life story.
Yeah.
See,
Real one.
and that's the thing, right? So even if he, God forbid, doesn't finish, you all get the archives.
Yeah, right.
He can tell who he wants to complete it
Right.
with what he left behind.
Right, exactly. I'm saying, like, if you have the time, do it.
No,
So you're
definitely
saying
do
right
it.
now, it's like, listen, if I don't finish this, I want you to finish this. And here's boom, 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 write this
We
out.
don't know when anything happens, right?
Right.
So it's not a prophecy to the end.
That's the point I was trying to make with that, too.
It's not a prophecy to the end. It's just planning.
Yeah, we don't plan. It's like, we don't plan, and we supposed to plan. You're sick and don't have life insurance. It's like, you leaving your family in these situations. Take care of your business while you're here, man. You got to take care of your business. You're a burden, and you're not here anymore. You know what I mean? So, like, to take care of your business, you know what I mean? Let's make this transition easy. You know, make sure your paperwork is in places where people got to find it. We don't have to tear up your whole junky apartment to find the papers.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
always that, too.
Yeah, it's like
always-
the junkiest apartment, and we got to
It's
go through your
always
stuff.
that, like, damn.
Yeah, like, come
We'll be
on.
like, all right, the family's getting together to do. It's
Right.
like,
Damn, I need
Aight.
7 people to find that document. You know, so let's get organized, people. Let's get organized. And you were telling me something about an iPhone.
The legacy contact. I don't remember how I came about it. Something on my phone told me, like, if something was to happen to you, who would you want to have all of your information? And you know our phones hold everything.
Everything. You be like, damn, this is in here?
Everything.
Literally.
So, yeah, stuff that you don't even know it holds is holding.
Right.
Right? So it's to think when it came up, the first thing I thought was, oh my God, Apple got all my business.
Yeah. Apple was mad federal.
Apple got all of my business, right? And then I was like, all right, if something was to happen to me though, who would I trust my business with?
But you know it's safe.
Where I know they're gonna handle me with care, regardless if I'm here or not. And I was able to come up with that person and make them my legacy contact.
No, I was waiting. I gotta tell a story about I gotta tell a story about that. Go ahead.
Oh shoot! Nah, you are retarded.
Finishing, I gotta tell you something. Go ahead.
You are retarded. Nah, I'm done.
No, you. Oh, you're not gonna say who it is on thing.
No.
Oh, okay. So I was at a shin. I'm not gonna say what it is in case somebody noticed as well. I was at a shindig. Let's say it like that. And somebody was giving a speech, and they was like, and this person, and this person. And the person who thought it was them stood up. She said, that's right, baby. That's right. Come. It wasn't even them. I said, and I stood up, loud and wrong. That's embarrassing. He said, that's right, baby. That's right. Call me up. It's not true. She turned around and was like, I'm like, damn, that was crazy. I was very confident in you. You supposed to sit
I
and
was
wait.
very confident in you.
That's crazy. So anyway, so like Mahagony said, they have this legacy contact joint with iPhones where the person, like say you don't have a will and all of that kind of stuff set, this person has access to your phone and archives and they control what happens with it. If you don't have that, then you're gonna need an executor and a death certificate for folks to get access to your phone and information. And like, you know, your whole story is like, you have like, I don't know, 10 years of information in your phone, footage, videos,
pictures, notes, conversations. Like you know how every time somebody passed, somebody is like, oh my God, I just spoke to them.
Yeah.
They be lying sometimes.
No, imagine. Imagine you start putting up lying. Like, this is my call log coming out. They have not had. No, imagine.
They ain't speaking 3 years.
Like, that's my brother. Anyway,
the same one who throwing themselves on a casket.
Right.
It was 3 years ago
It was
since you knew I was breathing.
You ain't check on me one time, and you knew I was sick. Nah. All right. So anyway, they have an iPhone legacy contact thing folks should look at, and then we were also just thinking about in terms of us being ready. As we're getting older, make sure, we have the living wills and last wills where, say you're impaired and you can't make a decision for yourself. Who are you leaving in charge of that information where your decisions can be respected and it's not families arguing like, I don't want her to be this, I want this to happen. Help to, reduce the amount of stress and have your stuff in order as much as possible. And then your last will is like your asset distribution. So anything that you have left that you want certain people to have, so folks aren't, fighting over that, or certain families taking things because they feel like they deserve it, but you really wanted certain people to have it. Write those things out. You might need a lawyer, I believe, right? You need a lawyer for those things, but do what you got to do. They have some pro bono things as well. You can get things notarized, but it's not as respected as you have if you have like a lawyer actually look at it. But just figure out the best way that you can get things, official and preparing for, when you can't make decisions for yourself.
Yeah, that's very important. And to bring it back to the discussion about your history and what you've been through and the lessons, you can do it in that way as well.
Right.
Maybe it's somebody close in your family who you feel needs a jewel
right.
from something that you lived through.
Right.
Write it down.
Right.
Make sure it's handed to them when you're no longer here.
Right. Because you may not want certain people even speaking at your funeral.
It may not be an outward thing.
Right.
It doesn't always have to be completely open to all.
Right.
Sometimes it's just like, all right, this lesson is for this person.
Yes.
This lesson is for this person.
Oh, that's dope. I love that.
And you can kind of cherry pick who you tell them which stories to for a purpose. That means that you are still serving, you still leaving them with something before you go that is going to be powerful and impact their lives.
Absolutely. Because I'm just tired of going to these social media highlight real funerals. It was like, yo, he was a murderer. You said what?
Yeah.
I mean, of course you're not gonna get up there and say that, but just like, come on, let's not act like this is an angel right here.
And this is the thing, right? So everyone, no matter what your life is, you have people who care for you.
Yeah.
Right?
They love you.
But caring for someone doesn't change reality. I can care for you and identify your work.
Right. Right.
Do not get on no platform anywhere talking about, oh my God, the killer was a good person.
I know some killers that are good people though.
Do you?
I do.
Do you?
I do.
Do you?
Yes, but they're not doing that no more. But they,
okay, so yeah, say
former,
that.
Former. Oh, not still doing it. Like former. Due circumstances, things
say
happen.
That. I know people who have taken lives as well.
Yeah.
They're not killers. They just happen to
have killed.
Have killed.
Yes.
Yeah, it's different.
That's very different.
But Day-Day, who...
Day-Day was a piece of shit, man.
Day-Day, who's running around hitting people with strays.
Right.
Who's slapping people's mamas,
right.
kicking people's kids.
Right.
And then he passed on, and you're talking about he was such a good person. I'm gonna need y'all to cut that out. Nobody interested in hearing none of that.
So what's our point right now? What we saying though?
I don't know.
What to say?
You started it.
Yeah,
and
like
finished.
I don't know what we talk about.
Enough is enough.
Don't say nothing if you ain't got nothing bad to say. That's crazy. Don't say nothing if you don't got nothing bad.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
One thing I wanted to discuss is our ability to identify that everybody gets a different version of a person. So someone could be the worst kind to me, but you didn't experience the worst kind out of them.
Yeah, right.
You experienced a kind person who showed up for you.
But it's like, nah, this is my experience with them. Yeah.
That doesn't mean that your experience didn't happen.
Right.
And it don't mean that my experience didn't happen.
Right.
So it's more about you being able to identify the truth of your story with a person. Don't paint the whole picture. You don't have the whole picture.
Right.
So saying, oh, they was a good person, I'm not with it. Because his work say he wasn't a good person.
So what do you suggest?
tell your experience with them.
Get up there in the funeral and say it.
Yeah, if y'all had a great experience, this
No,
person
the bad
showed up.
one, the
no,
bad
no, hell no. Like, I can't speak to
Right.
the guy who robbed you.
Right.
I know when I met up with him,
And
he
he was
told me
there.
some kind words.
Yup.
I needed him at
Drop
the
some-
moment.
yup.
This is what happened. That's what I experienced of this person, and that's what I value.
He saved me when
Period.
I died. Yup, and that's what I value. Yeah, period. Yup, I like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's giving everybody an opportunity to have a true story about this one person and show the variety of who they are. Because we all have a variety of who we are. And I think we're missing that too in society. The ability to see that people are not
layered.
one thing.
Yeah. So when I found out one of my students from my program didn't like me, I said, what? I thought everybody loved me. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. So when I got word back, she don't like you. She said she couldn't stand you. I said, wow, that is crazy. So what was her experience with me? What did I do?
Did you ever find out?
A couple times. No, I didn't. Actually, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna say, why you ain't like me?
I would like to know
But I would like to know, like, what happened?
was.
That's what I want to know. Like, what was your experience? Like, why you said that you didn't like him? What was your experience? I do want to know that.
Yes.
I would like to know. That's really, because I was really surprised.
Because, I mean...
Because I love my baby, so the fact that someone, you know...
But, you know, I told you, people filter their experiences through all types of lenses.
Yeah,
So she could feel insecure about something, and you said something and touched her arm, and her arm was her insecurity.
Yeah,
Now,
and saying her arm, thinking I'm thinking something about her arm.
Let's kind of bring this all together. We spoke of the importance of vulnerability. We spoke of telling our stories and the necessity of that for others, which is why we say that our lives are not our own, right? And then we also discussed making sure to put things in place to secure our stories, secure our legacies.
Control your own narrative, but be truthful about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The good parts and the parts that weren't so good, so that it is a learning lesson for everyone that's still here.
That's very important, speaking the lesson.
Yeah, I was talking to my aunt, she was like, she wants her story to be told, and I was like, yeah, let's record it.
Yeah, because everybody's story needs to be told.
I mean, come on, the book, I mean, everything that we learn is a bunch of books over here to our right-hand side. The schools that we go, we're reading books. We're reading stories.
That's coming from other people's
That's coming from other people's
stories.
experiences and things that happen in the world, and they're telling us what happened. We have to leave that for our people. Let our story be their books to live by.
That's what you call legacy.
That's right.
That's what you call serving. That's what you call understanding that your life isn't just yours.
I mean,
I'm Mahagony,
I'm Ish.
and this is Culture Currency.
But culture,
is the value.
make sure to like, share.
Subscribe and comment.
Peace.